My name is Pooja Patel and I am a first year master student of political science from Vasanta College for Women's, Banaras, Hindu University. So today I'm going to talk about what is political development and the process of political development in India. So very beginning, I'm going to talk about what is political development. So the concept of political development is a complex concept and it is impossible to derive any universal and the common meaning for it. Political development refers to the process by which political systems become more effective, stable, and legitimate. It also ensures the rule of law, citizen participation, and institutional growth. Generally, political development refers to the process and transformation through which a society's political system evolves and changes over time. But it is essentially about how governance structure evolves from weak or traditional forms into modern, organized, and accountable systems. If we see the history of political development, then the concept of political development first time mentioned by the statesman and policymaker, and then after the scholar economics and sociology played a very important role. It was immersed. It was immersed in U.S. America. The term gained prominence in the 1950s and 1960s when the scholars studied newly independent states in Asia, Africa, and the Latin America. Traditionally, it was equated with democratization, that is, free and fair elections, civil rights, and multi-party system. Today, it also emphasizes good governance, accountability, and resilience across against crisis. Political development and political modernization. Political development and political modernization are different factors, but if we see the political development, it's had a broader process of institutional strengthening, participation, and stability. Whereas the political modernization is specific shift from the traditional factors to modern political system, that is from monarchy to democracy. Democracy development include modernization but also focuses on adaptability and governance capacity. A definition of political development by various thinkers are such like the element Powell defined political development as the increased differentiation and specialization of political structure and the increased secularization of political culture. Samuel Huntington also defined it as the process by which organization and the procedure acquires values and stability. According to Alfred Diamond, political development is a process by which aim at a particular condition, but one which create an institutional framework for solving an ever widening range of social problems. Samuel P. Huntington has mentioned political development and political decline in his book, Political Order and Changing Societies, which is published in 1968, and Political Development and Decay, which is also published in 1968. If we see the process of political development in India, then the process of political development in India encapsulated the nation's journey from colonial rule to a vibrant democracy. India's political development is characterized by the adoption of a democratic constitution in 1950, which establishes the fundamental principle of governance. The process of political development in India can be understood as a long, uneven journey of building institutions, expanding participation, and adapting governance to social and economic changes. If we see the political development after independence, I mentioned basically the five development, which is like the case studies in political development. So the very first, the defeat of a Congress in 1988. Sorry, the defeat of Congress in 1989. So basically, the Congress which won 450 seats in 1984 was reduced to 197 in 98, which shows the defeat of Congress. which was earlier mentioned by the Rajni Kothari as a Congress system when the Congress has dominance in India. And then after secondly, I mentioned the uh, development of Mandalism as a national politics. In 1990, the Nation Front governance implemented the Mandal Commission recommendation of 27 reservation of OBC in government job. It also sparked violent protests but also mobilized OBCs as a strong political force. It led the rise of reason and caste-based party. And if we see the third, which is economic reform after the 1991, it is also known as the initiation of the structure adjustment program or the new economic reform. It was started by the Rajiv Gandhi's as it is initiated by the Rajiv Gandhi and expanded under PV Narasimha Rao and Finance Minister Manmohan Singh. It shifted India from a state-led economy to liberalization, privatization, and globalization, that is especially known as LPC model. It also created a new policy consensus across parties. And the third, that is Ram Bhumi, Ram Janmabhoomi movement, which is a Janmabhoomi temple movement becoming the central issues. Ayodhya dispute became central to politics in the 1990s. It culminated in the demolition of Babri Masjid in 1992 and the later the Supreme Court verdict 2019 allowed the construction of the Ram Janmabhoomi. It was deeply influenced debate on secularism and Hindutva. And the last one is the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, which is also the 1991. So finally, the change in Congress leadership. Narasimha Rao became the PM. Congress emerged as the single largest party in 1991 election. It was assassinated by the Sri Lankan Tamil linked to the LTT when he was on the election campaign tour in the Tamil Nadu. So now, if we see the political development in India after 2019. So basically, I mentioned that the political development in India after the 2019, because as a result of 2014 general election in India is the first time since 1984 again being led by the majority party government. The Bharatiya Janata Party, that is BJP, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi as its leading figure, has been governing India since then. Its re-election in the 2019 is a clear sign that the BJP is maintaining popularity through its governing strategy. Their re-election and endeavor shows in their domestic policy decision and handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. And endeavor caused considerable changes in Indian political system. That is, India's political landscape. And finally, the political development in India after 2014 marked a significant shift from coalition politics to a dominance party system led by the Narendra Modi and the Bharatiya Janata Party. This phase is characterized by the centralization of power, assertive policy making, transformation of federalism, and increased role of identity and welfare state. So, if we see the some case studies that is after the 2040s, if we see the case studies on political development after 2040, we can see the centralization of power and strong executive by the case of abrogation of Article 370 in 2020, 2019. So the Jammu and Kashmir special areas were revoked and reorganized into union territories, reflect decisive leadership and increasing central authority. It also raises a debate of federalism and democratic constitution. And the second one is the transformation of federalism, comparative and centralizing trend. It uh, it is shown by the good and service taxes, that is GST, which was uh, which was introduced a unified tax system with a GST council including center and state. It also promotes the cooperative federalism, but critique argues center dominance persists. And if we say the third one is that is vegetarian and identity politics, which is seen by the Citizen Amendment Act. It triggered nationwide protest and debate on secularism. It also indicates rise of regional-based political mobilization and polarization. Sorry, polarization. And the fourth one is a decisive economic and governance intervention, that is demonetization. Demonetization sudden was at that time when the Modi ji take decision to uh, to ban the 500 and 1000 notes. It sudden invasion of high value currency note, that is 500 and 2000 I earlier mentioned. It strengthens it showcases centralized decision making and politics and of anti-corruption. And the fifth one is welfare politics and digital government. It show the expansion of alliances. It show the expansion of schemes like DBT, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar linkage. It also strengthens state citizen direct interface. It reflects the shift toward performance, legitimation, and governance-based politics. And the sixth one is the civic society and the democratic resistance. Civic society and democratic resistance is generally shown by the farmer protest, which was happened in the 2020 something. It was a mass mobilization force repeal of farm law. It demonstrated continuing democratic contestation despite a strong executive. And the seventh one, that is last one, is the dominant party system and electoral politics. When the BJP repeated electoral success from 2019 and on to from 2019 and 2024, now it also saw the decline of opposition fragmentation. It was a movement toward a one-party dominant system that is echoing Rajnik Kothare's earlier thesis, but a new form. So that's all about the political development and the process of political development in India. As I mentioned, in all my PPT. So thank you very much, and I'm now finishing my video in it. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much.